To me, a depression is, I define it differently. Yes, it's hard, but to me, it's like your old self dying and you just like being reborn again. I said, because I just need a break. I just need the world to just be still so I can think. And then he sat everybody down. And I was like, that's crazy. And then I started doing hair. And it was a perfect time for me because everybody was doing hair at the shop. They shut all the shops down. So it was like I was just another hairstylist that was doing hair in the shop. So I used all the time that God gave me. And I used it to my advantage. Still to this day, I'm trying to perfect my business. And it's never gonna be perfect. That's what
Well, welcome to another edition of Believers Breed, the podcast, where the aim is to help people embrace self-awareness, self-confidence, and self-worth. I sit down with really cool people that have not only embraced like this cool skill set, but their mindset has allowed them to accomplish some really dope stuff. And today's conversation is going to be, hopefully I don't, find myself being emotional, but this has been like a long time with this young lady, and I'm really proud of where she's come. And so before we jump into some details, tell folks who you are.
I am Alexia King, owner of The Luxurious Touch. I'm a hairstylist here in Nashville. And yeah, a lot more to come. But yeah, that's who I am.
So I got to be honest. I know you got your typical hairstylist, but when I watch your videos on Instagram, it's almost like the hair has a little more life in it when you're doing it. And so I tried my best to do a little bit of research before today. And I saw that you do silk press. So what is different about silk press? And then we'll kind of walk our way back to this point. But I really want folks to know, like, what differs you between the other folks that are just doing hair.
Okay, so when I first started, really in 2020, I was going through like a depression. I guess it was from school, graduating school or whatever, and my hair fell out. And I was looking for somebody in Nashville to press my hair, trim it, and to get it growing, but I couldn't find nobody. It was everybody they did the wigs, the lace, but they just had silk presses on their site, but nobody really specialized in it. Like, okay, this is the main thing that I do. So I was like, okay, I'm about to start doing it, and I'm just gonna specialize only in silk presses. So that's how I started. But silk presses, it's just natural hair. Like, I just cater to the natural hair and growing it, and I think that's important. So I basically just added value to the hair industry in Nashville by doing that.
And like, it seems like over the last, I don't know, 5-6 years or so, there's been this move towards people wearing their natural hair a little more. And you saw a need, you saw a gap in the industry, and you took advantage of it. What is the advantage of people wearing their natural hair?
Just being able to, my advantage is getting people to just love their natural self and getting into just, I don't know, just being able to be free whenever you don't have money for weave, or you know what I'm saying. It's a flex, to be honest, to be able to wear your natural hair. Like, okay, I could wear my natural hair, but then I could put weave in it too. It's just, I don't know if it's a girl thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, so you said you started in, what, 2020?
2020.
And it's 20, well, I won't say when we're shooting this because I want this to last forever. But
yeah,
since that point, what have you been able to accomplish in your business? And I know you're pretty modest, so you might not even really think about it and just sit and take a deep breath with it. But like, when you think about how far you've come, what have you been able to accomplish?
I started doing hair out of my house. I did that. I moved out of my house to a suite within, I want to say, 2 or 3 months. I quit my job within 2 months. I have over 1,600 clients
Hold
in
on.
Nashville.
Stop. You what?
I have over 1,600 clients. I had, before I went on maternity leave in February, I was close to 1,500.
How you got time to see all these people?
They just book. They just book. I leave my schedule open. Like before I had Nyla,
Shout out to Nala. She's here watching the interview
I know,
today.
right? She a little sleep, but she here. Before I had Nala, I was working from 2020 up until last year. Well, earlier this year, I was working all day, every day. And I'll take like 7, 8 clients a day. Probably I'll take Sundays and Mondays off.
Mm-hmm.
But really, people will pay me to work on my off days. So I'm working all day, every day.
That's a lot of clients.
It is.
That's a lot.
It's not enough, though. It's not. It's not enough clients because I'm trying to become more diverse. It's not enough clients.
When you say diverse, are you talking about in the people that you're dealing with or what you're offering?
Well, my services, I became more diverse than that. I offer 2 more services now. But now I'm trying to touch like different races of females because I offer something called tape-ins. So it's something that everybody do now. So
Okay. I'm going to talk about that later.
yeah, okay.
So you talk about going through this depression, and I think more often than we really recognize or give credit to, people go through those moments. Now, how we come out on the other side is dependent on how we respond to it. And so you took this depression and you capitalized on it because you saw an opportunity and you ran with it.
Right.
It don't always happen like that. But I do know that there are a lot of people that come out of college with a degree and then they look around and it's like, what now? And so I think a lot of people that will watch this interview will want to know, like, if you could go back and do it again, if you could give any advice to someone that is coming out of college, they have goals and aspirations, what would you tell them?
Keep going. To me, a depression is, I define it differently. Yes, it's hard, but to me, it's like your old self dying and you just like being reborn again. So it's like me, I had to face a lot of stuff that I don't face. I was running away from a lot of my problems, and college, just like you said, you graduate with a degree, you don't know what's going on, you looking around like, okay, I don't know. Life just catch up with you and you just don't know what to do. So my advice is to just keep going. Especially if you're trying to become a business owner. That and being a parent is the 2 hardest jobs on this earth. Like being an entrepreneur, full-time entrepreneur, it's crazy. So just keep going. That's the only thing I can say because it seemed like you're not going nowhere. It seemed like I'm moving in slow motion. But then when I look at my numbers and then I reflect on the month and then I be like, dang, you do got that a lot. You do have a lot of clients. You always booked. And you got returning clients. It's like, okay, you on the right path. You doing something. Then it's like when I hear my clients and people around me say, well, you doing better than me and you doing this and you doing that. And I'm like, y'all don't know the half what I'm going through behind this chair. When I leave behind this chair and I go home, y'all don't know. It's a lot. And just for me to show up, it's a lot. You know, me being with my daughter now, it's even harder because it's just harder. It's a lot.
So when I played football, one of my coaches told me something that kind of transformed the way I looked at it, is that when I was in between the white lines on the football field, it was my sanctuary, and nothing else that was going on in life really mattered at that moment. And so now for you, it seems like your sanctuary is behind that chair.
When I was going through my depression, I keep going back to that because that's where it all started. It was my peace. Like, I feel like God took away so much, but then he replaced it with hair, but I didn't know my purpose and why I was doing hair. It's my peace. Like, that's where when I'm going through something, I go to work, I get a client, because it just eases my mind. Like, I don't know what it is about doing hair. It just eases my mind, and I never feel alone. Like, you know how they say, when you in a depression, never be alone? I'm never alone. Like, my clients is always there. For some reason, when I'm blow drying, my mind just be wandering. Like, I get to sit and think, and I think so clear when I'm behind the chair. It's just, it's a passion. It's my passion. Like, I don't know what it is, but something about doing hair, it just keeps me going. Like you said, your sanctuary is my peace. Like, I feel so much at peace. Like, when I was going through my, after I had Nyla, I wasn't comfortable. I said, I need to get back in the chair. I need to get back. I don't know how I'm going to do it with her being in the shop. But once I got back in the shop and got the groove going back, I was like, okay, I can do this. It was hard, but I was like, okay, I can do it.
I feel like that's crazy because when people are working jobs, typically when they are going through depression or like have issues that are going on in life, the cure for them is like go on vacation and get away from work. And for you as an entrepreneur, you're saying, no, I need to go to work.
Because it don't feel like work to me. It's not work to me. I'm creating something. I still don't know what it is, but I feel like I'm just creating a certain life for me. But even before I had my daughter, I'd be like, I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this for my kids. I want to pass down my shops to my kids. And now I got a daughter. It's like, okay, this is my reason. So I got to really keep going. But this don't feel like work to me. Some days be hard because it's like, okay, I done dealt with this client, that client, and I'm here all day. But it doesn't feel like work to me. It's like I get creative in the shop. My clients let me do certain things that I'm not used to. They get me out of my comfort zone. It's building character for sure. Like, but it's not work to me. It's literally my passion. So that's why I'm able to get up and go to work. And I need to stop saying work, but I get to get up and go chase my dreams. That's what I'm gonna say. Chase my dreams.
I don't know if you remember this. I'm sure you do though. So years ago, I don't know how many years ago now, I remember you coming into my office and talking about these dreams and aspirations. And one of the things that I remember is that you made, I believe, cupcakes.
Yeah.
And you were walking around campus and you were selling them. But that was so interesting to me because in the space that I was in, I would hear so many ideas come in and out the office, but I never really saw the execution. And I remember you talking about doing it, but then I saw the cupcakes. And so I was like, she might be serious. And so obviously you're not doing cupcakes now, but I'm interested to know, like, where did that creativity, that entrepreneur bug, like, where'd you get that from?
I don't know, to be honest. I feel like it's just something, it has to be in you. Because even in college I did hair, but I didn't take it serious. Like, I don't know. I can't tell you where it come from. I just know in college I was like, I need to make some money. I need to figure out how to do it quick. And I had so many ideas in college. I remember the cupcakes. I was really finna be a baker. But that's not I don't know where that idea come from. But I think it's because I used to cook a lot in college, and I was like, I'm finna just make some cupcakes. Or I don't know why cupcakes, I don't know. But that was just one of the ideas that I came up with. And I was like, okay, we finna do it. And it was doing good for a minute, but then I was like, man, this ain't what I want to do. I'm finna just hang it up.
So walk me through this journey. So you got 2020. You got a lot going on. You're trying to figure out someone that can do your hair. And then you see this opportunity and you start. And a lot of people, one, don't start.
That's the first step.
So take me back to that place. What are you thinking? You have some experience with doing hair in college.
Not
But
silk presses.
Yeah, and not really.
I used to press my own hair, but doing somebody else's hair, no. I had no experience. Like, okay. So, I seen it was a need for, I did the hashtag Nashville silk presses. Nobody came up. I mean, there was some people who did it, but it wasn't how, in Atlanta you see girls, it's a different type of look, it's a different type of feel. So it's like I know what I wanted my silk presses to look like. I know what my end goal, what I wanted to look like. So I was like, okay. So I started with the tools that I had in my house. I had a blow dryer, I had a flat iron, I had a comb, and I had a brush. So what I did was I did the research on the girls who did it in Nashville, seen their prices, seen what they had to offer. Were they offering shampoo blow dry? Most of them wasn't. You had to come shampoo blow dry. So I'm like, okay, even though I'm in my house, I'm just gonna not cook and just shampoo their hair in the sink. Did that for a minute. And then I just started. I started posting it. I got my first client March 7th, 2020. That was my first paying client.
2020?
That was my first client. And before that, it was my friend Gabby at the time. And, she was going to some type of party, like a housewarming party. And she was straightening her hair, and I'm like, just let me do it. That's what I want to do. Just let me do it. So I did it, and we went to the housewarming party, and they was like, who did your hair? Who did your hair? She was like, Lex. And I got my first client there. And then after that, I started off at $25. When I tell people that now, they be like, where was I? I'm like, you didn't want to meet me back then because my hair, the silk presses wasn't that good. But I started off, I had a strategy. You start off cheap so you can get your clientele up. And then with that time, with you being so cheap, you work on your craft. So that's what I was doing. And then in the midst of that, I was doing giveaways once a month. Like you post, you tag me, and you tag 3 friends. That's how I got my followers up on my page. So it was like I was building while I was working on my craft. So I didn't care. I never did consultations with natural hair. I trained myself to come in and work with whatever texture hair they got. So it's like that's how I got so good at silk pressing all textures hair. Really, it's the 4C hair that people complain about.
The what?
4C hair.
4C. What's that?
It's like 4C is like really, really coarse hair. So it's like once I mastered that, it was like, okay, cool. So then
Well, Paul, so March 7, 2020 is like right around pandemic start.
Everything, I feel like I got a connection with God. I know everybody say that, but I feel like I have a real connection with God. And it's like, he's in the center of everything that I do. And it's like, it's crazy because I was working 2 jobs before I started doing hair. And ever since I graduated college, it's like I was going. I was working to pay bills. I had this apartment that I never stayed in. And it's like, I said to myself, I wonder if the world can just be still. And then we went on a pandemic. I said, hold on, wait. This is too much. I said, because I just need a break. I just need the world to just be still so I can think. And then he sat everybody down. And I was like, that's crazy. And then I started doing hair. And it was a perfect time for me because everybody was doing hair at the shop. They shut all the shops down. So it's like I was just another hairstylist that was doing hair in the shop. So I used all the time that God gave me, and I took it to I used it to my advantage. So while everybody's sitting down, I'm finna just blend in. That's how I said it. I said I'm finna just blend in, do hair. It's not out of the ordinary, you know. And then that's how I started. And then I started getting clients who everybody know, and then one thing led to another. And then that was 2020. And then I realized, like, okay, that my job started irritating me. So I was like, I said, okay, let me do the math. Let's see how much money I'm making a month just by doing them with $25. And then it was more than what my job was paying me. So I quit.
Even at 25,
25, so I quit my job.
was it a different feel when you quit your job?
I could think, and I was making a little bit more money. And with me going through my depression and me being on them phones, talking to people I don't want to talk to, I couldn't do it. I was looking around my house like, it's so much stuff I could be doing with this time. But nah, I'm sitting here answering phones for Google. That's what I was doing. I was working for Google. And I was like, yeah, I got to stop this.
Was there a heightened sense of pressure though, because you didn't have like a consistent paycheck coming in when you jumped out and quit the job and was like, I'm about to just do this on my own? Did you feel a sense of pressure?
Yeah, it took me a minute to quit, but not a big minute. It was pressure, but I knew I could do it. It's like I just gotta keep going. Quitting your job because it's comfort, but is it enough? It's never enough. Even with you being an entrepreneur, it's never enough. For some reason, like I don't know what it is, we never satisfied, but it's never enough. So it's like, okay, keep this job and be miserable, or go after your dreams and always come back and get a job if you fail, you know. But I just kept seeing myself succeeding, and I seen like happiness, like okay, I can do this, and I don't know. That's why I kept going.
So the one thing that I pull out that I really enjoy hearing is you weren't really waiting on stuff to get perfect. And I think right now there's so many people that have ideas and things that they want to go after, but they're like, I'm waiting on the right moment. I'm waiting on this to get set up and this to get right. Do you feel like you learned so much along the way because you started when it was not perfect?
Yes. You still to this day I'm trying to perfect my business, and it's never gonna be perfect. That's what I just had to keep telling myself. It's out. Like I was telling my assistant, I said, well, cause we talk about business every day. When I say we talk about business every day, she at work, we talk about business. It's like I stopped saying I wanted to be perfect. I started saying I know it's not gonna be perfect, but I want it to be close to perfect. I want it to look like, okay, it's perfect. But when my clients come in, they be like, oh, well, you so organized, it's perfect. What else do you need to do to your site? And I'm like, y'all don't see that? It bothers me. But I learned so much. My first 3 years, and I'm on my third year, I'm going on my fourth year doing hair, I learned what not to do. Like, I want to shop. So, like, I worked on a certain people in Nashville, and I learned what not to do. I feel like that's what's going to get me close to perfect, because you learn what not to do. You look at other stylists, and you see what they're doing wrong, and then you just do the opposite. That's how I learned. But it's not going to be perfect, but it can be close to your perfect. Everybody have their own version of what perfect is, and but you learn by making mistakes. Like I made a lot of mistakes, and I try not to make them, but how I can't learn if I don't make mistakes, so I can learn what not to do. But I learned by seeing what not to do. and just adjusting that way.
Well, let me tell you something that I know is not perfect in your industry.
What?
Obviously, I ain't never got my hair done by a woman, so I don't know that side as much as I know the barber side. But you know, my wife has talked about it in some points. Boy, y'all do not be on time. So I know, like myself, other people when they go to barbershops, like barber might tell you, "Hey, your appointment at 10. You walk in at 9:57, and you ain't getting into that chair until 10:40." Is it the same way in your industry? Like, what's up with that?
I'm gonna be honest. Remember when I told you I studied other stylists and I seen what,
Not to do.
yeah, what not to do. I don't like waiting. Like when I go and I do a style, when I go get my hair done, and it's 3-4 different people in front of me. That bothers me. So what I did was I took one client at a time. Your time is your time, and right now it's a little different because I have my daughter, so sometimes we may get behind, but they understand. Sometimes we may get behind, or sometimes if you want to squeeze in, you getting squeezed in between two clients.
See, that makes sense.
They understand, but nobody is never not getting touched in my shop. Like if my assistant is shampooing you and I'm doing somebody else's hair, so everybody's getting service. So once I'm done, you just come onto the chair. But in the beginning, I didn't work like that. Everybody, your time is your time. If you come in at 10, you getting sat down at 10. You may have to wait about 5 to 10 minutes because my appointment ran over, but that's it.
Well, let me say, if you doing that right, you already have set yourself apart from other
and that's
folks.
that's what they liked about me in the beginning. They was saying I like how when I'm not waiting. They don't like to wait. You in and out. So I just don't like. I get overwhelmed when there's a lot of stuff going on in the shop. So that's why I was like, I can't work like that unless I got somebody in the shop with me. Now I do have somebody in the shop with me. I still don't like to work like that because my clients they used to me operating a certain type of way. So it's like,
Yeah.
they don't like it.
So you talked about starting with going to the housewarming. That's your first client. And then at the housewarming, folks are like, okay, you nice with it. And then you start to pick up. But between 1 and 1,600, like, what are you doing to grow your clientele?
Posting, word of mouth, and perfecting my craft. Doing a lot of things, marketing tactics. I got my degree in marketing, so I learned a lot in school. I had loyalty cards to where your 6th visit is half off, so I give them that card. I put my initials on it. That got me a lot of clients. I did giveaways for like the first year every month. Post, tag, and then I just give away one free silk press. In the beginning, it's like people don't want to give away free stuff when they first start, but you got to start somewhere. It's not about the free. It's about getting your clientele out. It's about getting your followers up. And this person have 3,000 followers. Now you got 3,000 people watching you from somebody else. So it's like, that's how I got my clientele up. And then word of mouth. Then it's like, I like the girls that go to the club every weekend because everybody see their hair. That's what I like. And honestly, I don't look at numbers. Like how some people be so caught up on their numbers and how much they make a month and how many clientels they have. I don't look at that. I just work. And then it's like I see results. I don't know. Because my end goal is not to get a lot of clients. My end goal is my shop. I have a different end goal. Like, I don't even be knowing how much money I make a month, to be honest with you. I don't look at my numbers unless I'm sitting down having this talk with somebody. then I'll be like, okay, well, let me look at my numbers. And then I'll be like, oh, you're doing better than what you thought. I don't really be caught up on numbers and how many clientele I have. I don't, for some reason, that don't really drive me. Because it's just numbers and they go up and down every month. So it's like, I don't know. That never really.
So where do you want to take the business? So you started in your house using your sink as a bowl. Now you have an assistant helping you wash, getting things started, keeping things afloat. What's the goal? I mean, because in my head, when I hear 1,600 clients, I'm like, shoot, where else you want to go? You know what I'm saying? But for you obviously have a vision of what you want to do with it.
Yeah. I have a couple of seeds in my head that's been planted. And it's like, until I get it, they're going to stay there. So right now, I started, last October, I hosted my first soup press class. And the name of that operation is called the Luxurious Touch University. And that's where I teach all of my girls who want to learn.
Dope.
So from there, it's like, okay, you gonna cut that out?
You good.
Okay. So it's like I have the Luxurious Touch University. So with me teaching them, how can I put this? I want my shop. So there's my shop, right?
Yep.
And I can't tell you the name of the shop right now.
Okay.
Because it's not there. But I want my shop. The girls that I teach, I want them to only work in the shop.
So you're grooming.
Yeah, I'm grooming everybody how I want them, because this is my retirement plan from behind the chair. It's getting the girls that I teach to work in the shop to do it just like me, so my clients can be comfortable.
This is getting good.
So they can be comfortable, because now when it comes to natural hair, you can even ask your wife, we don't play about our natural hair. So it's like once you meet one person to do it, you really stuck. But it's like, if I start easing them in, like, okay, she can shampoo like me, and they love my sister shampoos, it's like, okay, cool, I can
You got that.
step out and do that. But now the girls that took my class, I'm still working with them for free. Like on Sundays, some Sundays I'll do free shampoo blow dry to my clients and have 5 girls come in and have them shampoo and blow dry them, because I'm still teaching them. So it's like, you pay this one fee, but it's like I'm still working with you.
And you holding their hand along the way.
Yeah, I'm holding their hand all the way up until the end. Because initially everybody want to quit their job, but they don't know how to. You don't have to worry about getting clients. I just need y'all to get the craft, because once I open up my shop, it's going to be a walk-in. Everybody going to come. So it's like,
I like how you talking.
yeah, you don't have to worry about clients. I got that. I got that. I need y'all to just get the craft down and be serious. That's it. That's all I need. And I'll do everything else. So that's my end goal for right now. But I have something else that I'm working on right now that I'm planning on launching. Luxurious Beauty Co. So that's like products. So it's like inside my shop, I want my own beauty supply store, but with just my products.
Your products.
Like
That's
everything
dope.
with my stuff on it. So that's another source of income.
So when you talk about products, are you going to be like white labeling, or are you like, no, I'm going into the lab, I'm finna figure this?
The only thing that I'm actually making is my hair mask that I make.
Okay.
But everything else is like bonnets, scarves, like hair supplies, like the hair that I use in the shop. That, it's like a beauty brand, but it's like, it's gonna be like a storefront inside the shop.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's my goal.
So here's the could be sexy or not so sexy part that I want to ask.
Okay.
When people think about going into business, entrepreneurship, especially in the industry like beauty, folks want to know, like, how much money can I make? I'm gonna walk away from this thing that I know I could have. So give us the sexy part first.
Okay.
of like this is where it could go, but I also want to hear like, hey, if you have a down month and you ain't on
Okay.
top of it, then it could look like this.
Um, the beauty industry, hair industry, it's a $1 billion industry, and it's going up every year. Um, it's endless money in it because now our generation know how to capitalize off of our time. See, back in the day, the clients, like, our aunties and grandmas, they'll be in the shop all day and only make $600.
Mm.
Now, our time is money. Like, we learning how to capitalize off of our time. We got the products going. It's a $1 billion industry. But on your downtime, like sometimes you might not have as many clients. But that's why you got to find other ways to make money within your industry. That's why some people sell hair, some people sell some type of product, because even when you're not doing hair, you should still be making money. I have 1,500 clients. My mama tell me all the time, you need to be selling everything. You know how many girls you see a month?
You got their attention, yeah.
You see so many girls a month, but it's like you just gotta learn. You just gotta earn their trust for them to follow you and do everything that you have to offer. That's it. But yeah, some days might not be. Some months might not be as good. Like, this is one of my slow months, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. But you'll figure it out.
Y'all see how she trying not to say them numbers?
No, for real. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'll figure it out. Even on my slow months, I realized that you still making enough money to like pay for your bills, and it's just about managing your money. Because we make so much fast money, it's like drug dealer money. But it's like, people think, but it's like, because it's like you get a client and then you go spend that, but it's like, okay, you just get another client and the same money is there. So, but it's like, I know, I be so mad at myself at the end of the year when I see how much money I made and I do my taxes, and it's like, where'd that money go? I'm sick of myself right now. Like, when I tell you I'm sick of myself, I'm buckling down this month. Starting this month, I'm buckling down because I feel like God is telling me, I'm not going to give you more until you learn how to manage what you got. So it's like, if I manage this, I can get rewarded.
I got all this in my back pocket waiting on you.
Literally, like, it's more where it come from. And it's like, I don't be, like, when I don't make as much, I don't even say as much money as I make, because I don't be knowing how much money I make until I go back and look at my numbers. But he just waiting on me to get it together. Cause I'm sitting on $1 billion idea. I just gotta get it. But he know once I get it, if he give it to me right now, I'm gonna blow it. I'm not gonna know what to do with it. When I say we have a connection, me and God, it's like, I know what he want. He just waiting on me. It's like he just sitting right here just waiting on me. Like, why would you do that with that? Why would you do this with that money? Like, you gotta manage what you got in order to get to the next level. I feel like it's unlocking codes and doors. Like, if you sit and manage what you have, then I'll give you more.
Do you try to create some predictability on what you're gonna earn per month? Like, when you're booking clients, are you like, all right, I need this many clients because that's gonna make me this amount of money, or do you kind of just whatever happens happens?
I was whatever happens up until this month. But once I look back at my numbers and I was like, okay, what did I do in this 10K month that I didn't do in this 7K month? And then I looked at the numbers and I had a certain amount of clients. So it's like, okay, if I get like 60 clients, that's a 10K month. So it's like, now I'm having to look at the numbers because they do matter. But I don't have a set nothing. I just know my clients is my clients, and I just have to work with what I got. I just learn how to work with what I got, budget what I have, and save what I can, and everything will fall in place.
So when you approach your months, do you try to create like this predictable way of like how much income you get by, all right, if I book this many clients, I know for sure that my income will look like this, or do you just kind of go with the flow?
I was looking at my numbers the other day with somebody, and he was like, "How much money do you bring in a month?" And I went back on my I went back all the way from October of last year. That was my first 10K month, and I think that's because I started off with doing classes, and my classes helped me bring in 10K. But after that, it's like, okay, I started looking at my numbers without the classes, and it was still up there in range. But I started looking at how many clients that I was bringing in, and in those 9K, 8K months, it was like 50 to 60 clients. So I have to bring in at least 60 clients a month in order to like hit a certain type of quota. But I still don't be keeping up with it. It's like I'm just working, and just I don't know. I just be working. I'm just trying to work smart, not hard. But you really can't. You can predict how much you're making, but not really.
Yeah.
Because you just never know. Because you can go into the month thinking like, okay, well, I got 60 clients already, but somebody can cancel, somebody can not come, somebody cannot show up. Anything can happen.
So it seems like one of the unique approaches that you're taking is like educating girls through Luxurious Touch University and creating these clones of yourself
Yep.
to really take on this big idea that you have. And so when you think about like where you want to go with the university, all of the girls that aspire to become the next silk press queen, like what is your hope? Like where do you want this university to go? Do you want it to be something that you have kind of in the Nashville and creating this niche in Nashville, or do you want to take this?
Eventually, I wanted to become a franchise. The Luxurious Touch University is just a name right now, but I wanted to end up being a school. And it's crazy because that is another seed that planted in my head. But then it's two people on Instagram that I follow right now, and they teach you how to get your schools. And that's where the real money at, schools. So it's like I'm working on that. Well, I'm not working on it, but that's another one of my end goals, like shops and then schools. But yeah, like you can't work into my shop unless you go through. It's like, you know how you apply for a job and you go through training. That's how I want it to be, like intensive training before you get on the floor. So that's kind of what I want. But I do want it to be a franchise and branch out to, like, I want to go to the small cities that don't really have people to silk press. So that's what I want to do. Clarksville, maybe like Clarksville, Kentucky, because I got clients in Clarksville, Kentucky, like all
And
the
they
small
pulling up.
area. Yeah, they'll come because there's nobody to do it.
So I think I know what I asked before we got cut off is when you think about the experience that you want your clients to have in the chair, what does that experience look like? What do you hope that women are taking away and feeling?
I want them, for one, I want them to feel relaxed. I want them to trust what's going on. I just want it to be different. Like, you know how you go into a shop and it's about people gossiping and everything. We talk about business. Like, in my shop, like, we talk about real life stuff. Like, sometimes we may get off track, talk about what's going on in the shade room, but really it's like we talk about real life stuff. Like, how are you doing today mentally? We talk about business, like, and I be remembering my clients, like, girl, okay, where you at in your business? They'll be like, I ain't even start, girl. I ain't even start. It's like we talk about real life stuff. So it's like I want them to feel like, I don't know, just
It's almost like this accountability group
yeah,
that you
a
got.
big one, like a big accountability group. But everybody's not business savvy, so we talk about different stuff. But for the most part, we talk about real life stuff.
Mm.
And yeah, I want them to, I don't know what I want them to feel. I want them to just, it's different. I just want them to be like, oh, she different. Every time they get up. And some hope that their hair gonna grow. That's it. Like, literally, that's it. It's not really much to it.
So have you been able to create these testimonials that folks are like, I came in and I started with Lex and my hair looked like this, but now
Yep.
it looks totally different.
Yep. But I haven't been intentional with that part. When I say that, I mean, I know I'm going to grow their hair, but now I'm having to take pictures of their hair when I'm done.
So you said, I know I'm going to grow it. Like, do you have the ultimate confidence that you can deal with pretty much anything that walks through the door?
Yeah. Because I train myself to be that way. Like, most people do consultations, like, okay, well, we're going to need to do this for your hair. Basically, when it comes to natural hair, they do consultations sometimes to see if I can do this texture hair, but
So they turn people away?
sometimes because some people don't know how to do every texture hair. But it's like, if you just train yourself to do whatever come in, you're good. It's the same technique, just different hair textures. So I trained myself to be like that over the years, and my method work. Like, everybody got their own method, but my method has been working for me, and I know I can get pretty much anybody hair straight without the hot comb. That's my goal. Don't use hot combs. I'm not a fan of hot comb. So it's like,
Why?
when I do, I just feel like it's too hot for our hair, too hot for our scalp. It's a liability, because what if you burn somebody and they sue you? Like, it's a big liability. You can get burnt with the flat iron, but I don't really burn my clients. Like, if I do, you probably on your phone, not holding your head up, then that's on you, because I'm doing everything I can back here. But if you just doing all this extra stuff, then yeah, you can get burnt. But I don't use hot combs. So that's why it took me so much longer to perfect it, because I wasn't using hot combs. And hot combs is like a cheat code to me. Because you're not really silk pressing. You just, I don't know, for some reason, it's a cheat code. So I don't use hot combs. That's another reason why my clients like me, because I can get your hair straight without a hot comb. Yeah.
So you in it.
Yeah.
You in it.
All talent. All talent.
So a couple more questions. When you think about growing your business, where you want to take it, how do you learn? Like, what are you doing to develop yourself? Do you have mentors? Do you have peers in the space that you're taking away from? Do you read? Like, what does that look like?
I follow a lot of girls on Instagram. One of my main people that I watch, her name is the Hair Guru. She's in Atlanta. I just watch the girls that I kind of want to be like, but yeah, like, they're not my mentors. I don't talk to them, but they basically like my mentor from afar.
Distant mentors. I feel like I got a lot of them too.
Like, I can like, if I want to switch up my content, I'll go to May Beezy page in Atlanta, and I'll see her content, and I'll be like, okay, cool, she got some real good content. And then if I want to learn like a new skill, I go on Hair Guru page, and I'll probably take on her classes. Or that's basically how I've been doing it. Like, the girls who do silk presses, I was like, okay, I know my silk press look like this, but I want it to look like this. So what am I doing? So I'll just look at what they're doing and then practice it on my clients.
That's dope, man. I'm happy for where you're going, and super proud of what's to come. I'm gonna blow this balloon up, and I do this on every episode, and I want you to think about, like, what stands in between people and their goals. I'm gonna write that word or that phrase on this balloon, and we're gonna pop it, because I want to take the life out of it. So again, like, when you think about you in 2020, and how many other people get to those points to where they want to start something, they want to go after something, but it's something that stops them, something that handcuffs them, prevents them from taking those steps. What word or what phrase do you see continuously standing in between people and their goals? And we're going to write that on the balloon.
Okay. Do I have to describe it and why? Okay.
So when I pop this balloon, I'm hoping I don't scare Nyla.
You gonna scare her. I'm gonna tell her to leave.
All right.
And it's another one. I don't know if I'm spelling this right.
Fear, imprisonment of the mind. I don't know if y'all can see that. Talk about it.
Fear. We're gonna do imprisonment of the mind. Mentally, I feel like everybody is just locked up. Like we free, but are we free? I feel like the last thing that we have to free is our minds because we're so used to going to work every day. We're so used to doing everything by the routine. So it's like once you unlock that, then you're free. That's what separates the entrepreneurs from the workers. Imprisonment of the mind, and then the fear. People be scared to quit because their minds is just still in prison. Like you're not really free until you can do whatever you want, and then just have the confidence that you can do it. Once you unlock that and not have the fear of what's gonna happen, then you gotta have faith. You gotta pray. Not only you gotta pray, you gotta believe what you're saying, because sometimes I don't be knowing how I'm gonna do it, but I know for some reason I just know it's gonna get done because I believe what I'm saying. I believe in God, whoever you believe in, whatever. But those are the two things that I feel like that stop people.
So that you make a really good point, and I know I said I was gonna wrap, but you said that you have to pray, but you also have to believe, and like you got to take those steps. So we're in this age and time now to where it's like an affirmation culture. It's like I'm gonna look myself in the mirror and I'm gonna wake up every morning and I'm gonna say this, but my actions don't line up with what I'm saying. And so how important is it for us to not only pray, to not only say the things that we want, but to actually believe it and start taking those steps?
It's important. I know we hear the phrase "faith without work is dead." I mean, we're gonna wrap it up, but we can't wrap it up. It's just like God is He's like in the spiritual realm, making everything happen in the spiritual realm. But we here in the physical, He can't get down here and do it for us. He can move some things out the way. He can put things in play for you. He can, because when I pray, I ask God to give me the resources that I need to accomplish my goals, and He'll probably put some people in my way that can give me certain things that I need, put bugs in my ear. You got to be intentional with what you're praying. The other day, I was just in my room, me and Nala, and then I just started crying, and then I just prayed. And then, I don't know, I pray, I let it go, and then I just work. Like, I literally just keep working because it's not going to happen tomorrow. It could happen tomorrow, but that could also be a test, too. So, I pray, I believe, I firmly believe in who I'm praying to, and I know that He's going to make it work. And you have to understand that it's not on our timing. And you have to also understand that everything have to be aligned. You got to make sure, like, dating wise. You gotta make sure you're talking to the right person, because that could be a roadblock.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta make sure the company that you keep is like it align. Everything have to align with what you're trying to do in order for you to unlock certain levels in your life.
That's
So
good.
that's where I'm at now. Like, I'm not dating right now. Not right now.
DM about to blow up.
No. Because now I'm dating for my daughter, so it's like I'm intentional with everything. I am still like talking to like the same person I've been dating, but we like on a break. Cause he an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur. We gotta focus, and it's like now I got my daughter. It's like I'm getting to know me, my business, everything all over again. So it's like before I move forward with him, I gotta get everything else in a line.
My
'Cause he
bad, homie.
always
If
gonna
you
be
hear this,
there.
my bad. In case our DMs blow up.
He's always gonna be there, and I meant when I say he always gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
He's always gonna be there, but everything gotta be aligned with what you're doing. Otherwise, you're gonna be a mess. And another one of my prayers I pray, if I'm not aligned, realign me, get me back in check, so I can make sure I'm on this right path. But that's really all it is.
That's
like,
good. Well, we're gonna take the life out of this fear and this imprisonment of the mind. Nala, I don't want you to get scared. And I hope this beautiful establishment doesn't call the police on us.
They're not.
Cool. So, how can people? Are you still taking folks to the university right now?
Yeah, so I have classes like my next class is July 23rd.
Okay. Where can they sign up?
The Luxurious Touch University, but it was rushed.
Okay.
I was acting off impulse.
Okay.
So because I did that and did not trust the process, I don't think it's gonna get sold out. And I'm only saying that because I know I didn't put as much thought in it.
Yeah.
So
can they sign up or no?
yeah, they can sign up, but I know me.
Do they need to go to the Luxurious Touch on Instagram or?
Yeah, and it's a link, and it has classes, so just click classes.
Okay. And how can they follow you and your journey, and how can people book with you and all that good stuff?
So the Luxurious Touch, you can follow me there, and then I'll have everything. I basically post every day, so you'll see everything in there. The Luxurious Touch University, the Luxurious Touch, and the Luxurious Beauty Co. is coming this fall, so yeah.
And y'all watch how them girls be moving their hair and they be moving all over the place.
Yep.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Cool.